Everything was going according to plan. Kind of. Firefighter Charlie Benning stared down the flames, then turned and swung his axe at the tree. If they didn't get this line cut, the fire would jump to the trees on the other side of the deer trail and spread toward residences. So long as the wind didn't change, they had a shot at containing this fire, so it didn't destroy any more of the Kootenai National Forest. In the last week, the blaze had nearly doubled in size. It was spreading north and had split into two forks, with the western tine headed for the town of Snowhaven. He lifted his axe again. Pain ripped through his side at his lower back. He hissed, and barely managed to keep the axe from flying at one of the other hotshots on this team. "Whoa!" Kane, one of the trouble boys, as they'd been dubbed by the others, grabbed the axe handle. "Easy there." The guy had close-shaved dark blonde hair and eyes one of the female hotshots had described as brooding. Charlie grunted. "I'm good." But he let Kane take the axe. That guy's broody eyes saw way too much, and Charlie had been avoiding anything personal since the fire season started. It wasn't time to slip up now, not when the fire had grown big enough that his plan had a shot at working. The alternative would be messy. This had to go one way. "Why don't you take a water break?" Kane turned and hammered at the tree with more strength than Charlie had even back when he was in his 20s. He was over the hill of 4-0 now, a fact the hotshots insisted on reminding him of every day, calling him old man and grandpa. Might have bothered him before, but not lately. Charlie walked off the pane as he headed for the water barrel Hammer had carried out here. The fellow hotshot went by ham most of the time, and he saw way too much with that military situational awareness he wore like a coat. Everyone knew walking something off didn't work, not when the doctor had used words like chronic and dialysis. He left Last Chance County before that conversation could turn to Stage 2, or failure. Then he'd fudged the medical part of acceptance onto the hotshot crew, bypassing rookie training with the courses he'd taken over the years as a firefighter. He knew what he was doing. The truth would come out eventually, but that would be after the fact. Too late. Charlie might have had a decorated career in rescue squad, but he also had a failed marriage and an estranged daughter he'd dropped off at the teen firefighter camp up in the mountains. Wildlands Academy would be her home for the summer, and at the end of the season, Charlie would have done what he needed to do. Everything would be taken care of. Charlie patted the letter in his bulky fire pants pocket, tucked next to the shelter he was supposed to never have to deploy. "You good?" The boss lifted his chin. Connor Young was a good man, a family guy like Charlie would never be. He lifted his chin in reply. "Probably just pulled a muscle." He got a drink, wishing for a moment of solitude he could use to take a pill, and turned to watch the hotshot crew. 2 women, 7 men, not including him. The 2 youngest guys were in their early 20s, which made him old enough to be their father. A thought that didn't make him feel more spry. "I checked the weather report this morning. If the front comes over from the coast like they think, the fire could change directions and head to the firefighter camp Wildlands Academy." Charlie pulled a map from his pants pocket and unfolded it. Connor nodded. "I'm waiting for Miles to confirm, but I think we'll get redeployed after this to head up there." Charlie marked the path of the wind. If it came in from the west, it could funnel through a valley that would lead right to the camp north of them. Orion Price lowered his Pulaski and headed over. The guy was 22 but had more experience as a hotshot than most of the crew. The kid had gel in his dark blonde hair, and features that were familiar even though Charlie had never met him before this summer.